Pat Summerall is not gone as long as I thought he was. You were asking.
I was asking how long has Pat Summerall been gone. I said it's got to be 20 years.
No, 11.
Wow.
He passed away in 2013. Do you know what his real name is?
Died in 2013 in the world of Hollywood entertainment?
2013.
Did I say this all the time to you?
No, I don't.
He was the star of arguably the greatest series in television history.
James Garner?
No. James Garner. Okay, if you want to go Rockford Files, I can get behind that. Totally can get behind
James
that.
Gandolfini.
Yes. He died in 2013 as well, I believe.
Wow. It seems like Pat Summerall's been gone longer than James Gandolfini has.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the Wise Guy?
It was on one night when we got home, and I picked it up in between. Very interesting. I have not gone back to it. There's only 2 episodes, right?
Yes.
You know, when did Summerall...
You still haven't seen the
Correct.
Sopranos,
I have not watched Sopranos.
You may be one of the only people I know that hasn't seen it from tip to toe, other than Tyler.
Well, I guess
it's on my to-watch list.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Miller. What were you going to say?
When did Pat Summerall stop broadcasting? I think that's why it probably feels like he's been gone longer, Silvy, because once he stopped doing games, John Madden went with Al Michaels, right? At that point,
I guess so.
It was probably 10 years that Pat was out of...
Really? Because remember Pat would also do like the U.S. Open tennis?
I don't, but I'll take your word
His
for it.
last
He did
game.
everything.
Oh, wow. No, that can't be. Can't be. Is this right?
His last, what, NFL game?
Well, it says his last game alongside Madden for CBS was the 1993 NFC Championship.
Get outta here.
Well, no, that was CBS, but then they went over to Fox.
Oh, okay.
When
Yeah.
they started the Fox network together.
Okay, Fox Sports. Okay, I'm going through this way. From 2007 to 2010, Summerall appeared as a play-by-play voice for the network's cover Cotton Bowl. And he was teamed with Brian Baldinger there. Daryl Johnston.
By the way,
He was a substitute for Kenny Albert following the 2002 season.
And by the way, the story, right, about the Madden football game. I believe they were both approached, the Madden video game, about doing the sound or the play-by-play and all of it. And they offered him either a, one fee, or you could have ownership, a piece of the pie in the game. And John Madden took ownership. Pat Summerall took the
the check.
The check. But isn't that the way it went?
Yes.
I don't know if that's
loosely.
a wise tale. Or...
Now, the one thing I'll say is it wasn't just, though, that Madden took the points on the, every sale of the video game, but he was also integral in helping them do a lot of design, because Madden didn't want to just slap his name on it and then not have a good product.
He wanted to be part of it.
Yeah, so he made, part of the reason it is such a great game and it has had a lasting impression is because John Madden wanted to make sure that it was as realistic as possible to real-life football. In fact, when they first started making the computer game, because they were so limited by the memory that each computer actually had back in the late 80s, the game designer wanted to make it like a 7-on-7 football game.
Wow.
And John Madden's like, no, it's not football if
Right.
it's not 11-on-11. And so they were challenged to make sure the graphics had 11 actual football players on each side of the
He
football.
died an exceptionally wealthy man, I assume, mostly because of that game. Sure that he was paid handsomely by the different broadcast
Madden?
outlets.
You're talking about
but,
Madden?
yeah.
Do you know what I just gave it away. What Pat Summerall's...
George.
It was George, and it's George Allen.
I didn't know what you were saying.
George Allen, Pat Summerall.
I did not know that. You know, Pat Summerall was an outstanding kicker for the New York Giants. He was a player.
And the Chicago Cardinals.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I don't think some people don't even know who Pat Summerall is or was, much less know that he was a kicker in the game. I did say I gave in Wintrust the love, Tyler. Come on now. You know I got my game on right now, don't you? Do you think I missed on that? Yeah?
What do you think his percentage was for the Chicago Cardinals in 1955? Kicking.
Is it
50%.
You're close.
48%.
42.1%. He attempted 19 field goals. He made 8.
But
What?
he had a bigger leg than Cairo Santos.
1956, he was 10 of 22. And then in 1957 for the Chicago Cardinals, he was 6 of 17 for 35%. Then he got better with the Giants.
Could you do this if you were forced to? A woman, 79, fell while she was hiking. A stranger carried her for hours on his back.
Well,
If called into duty, could you do that?
I think you have to, right? If someone's life depends on it,
Yes, you have to.
you're gonna have to take breaks, but you're gonna have to carry someone on their back. I've done that for 17 years.
You are such a saint. You are such a saint, Bernard. Passengers has a new fear unlocked after the plane he was on flies for 9 hours, but lands back at the same airport it took off from.
Wait. That's one of those
Passengers on board a recent
creepy stories.
American Airlines flight has admitted they have a new fear unlocked after an American Airlines plane they sat on for 9 hours landed at the same airport it took off from. A recent event certainly ranks high among the worst travel stories as it saw passengers flying out of Dallas for 5 hours before returning back. Passengers on the American Airlines flight from the Texas City to the international airport in Seoul, South Korea on September 7th were in the air for 9 hours in total just to return to the airport the plane took off from.
Did they not tell them they were returning, and then the next thing they knew, they thought they were landing somewhere else, and they were landing? It's like a Twilight Zone episode.
The passenger, Jimmy Lee, was on board the American Airlines flight, took out her smartphone to record the commotion. The passenger posted the clip to Instagram, which sees Lee enjoying a snack and a soft drink as the plane turns around. New fear unlocked. Your flight to Korea may go 5 hours and come back with zero explanation, the caption said. The passenger went on to say that the airline staff said there was a problem with the toilets, while the pilot reportedly asked if someone was carrying a screwdriver to help fix the issue. American Airlines needs a lesson in effective communication, the woman added in the video as she snaps the plane's flight path are shown on the screen in front of her. The flight path showed how the aircraft had traveled across the U.S. before heading over parts of the Pacific Ocean when it was forced to head back. 9 hours. Why would you circle around and go back? Why wouldn't you just continue on? And, I mean, if it was something that needed to be fixed, I don't know why you would return all the way back to where you came from.
I don't understand. I never understand that.
That happened to me when I was really young, not really young, but when I was like 10 years old. We were going to Italy, and we got halfway across the Atlantic, and they said like something about the plane battery was going to die. So instead of finishing the route, finishing the job.
Get to Europe and just get somewhere even close.
What do you mean the plane battery?
There was something with like the battery.
Battery needed to be jumped.
But instead of going to Europe and landing us in Europe somewhere, they took us back to New York.
I hate you.
I would assume it's because getting back to New York was the quickest path versus going somewhere in Europe, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense.
I think we were pretty much equidistant at that point.
Yeah, if you're equal, then go to the destination.
I had a similar experience flying to Germany for the World Cup back in 2016, 2012. I can't remember the exact what year it was, but we were flying to Europe, and we had a medical emergency on board. Same thing, about halfway across the Atlantic.
That actually happened on our way home, I believe, from Italy too.
So we had to fly. They flew to St. John, Canada, and flew back 4 hours after like being 4 hours across the Atlantic.
See, but that's different. At
You're
least
right.
you didn't
It's a
return
medical.
to the
Yes, I get it, but it was frustrating because it was like,
Did the person survive?
I assume so. We didn't get an update. They landed the plane, they took the person off, and then
They didn't fill you in?
No, we didn't get an update.
Interesting. You guys following this Diddy story?
A little bit.
Not a lot. I just know the baby oil. A lot of parties, white parties, baby oil.
I have not followed it at all, but I just saw a headline that says Diddy is not eating in jail, fearing that he will be poisoned, as he claims, tapes are emerging of parties and stuff. So
a lot of people are not speaking about this.
Are there a lot of
famous
people that,
yeah? Ashton Kutcher.
Really?
Well, and there's also a lot of folks who have their tweets are being deleted after having attended Diddy parties
and tweeting about it.
Yes.
Well, what was going on there at the parties?
Nakedness.
Well, but if you're all adults.
Well, no. There's
Is everyone of age?
people being drugged.
Okay,
Yes,
that's not
and
good.
so- yes, and
Nope,
much
that's not
worse,
good.
obviously.
Okay, that's not good. No, I did not
But
know
I think
any
some
of
of the didn't one of the Kardashians tweet about how many people were naked?
Yeah, but naked's not.
But that's what they tweeted about.
Yeah, and
But
here's
the underlying
Okay.
stuff that was,
and
there was.
yeah, and the other issue, Waddle, is that a lot like Diddy has overseen the career of lots of.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not supporting.
No,
Sean
I know,
Puffy
no, but-
Combs. I'm saying I didn't.
No,
I
but-
haven't read a lot about the story, but now he's talking about he's fearful in jail that someone's going to
Wow.
poison him. What would be is because there's some people don't want the
Yes,
some
yes,
of the
yes,
info
it's
to
correct. Very yes,
distributed.
yes, and like because a lot.
Sounds like you read a lot of Star Magazine articles.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
No, you get this on Instagram, TMZ.
Yeah, no, but
Magazine.
Do you watch or you're on TMZ's Instagram?
Sure.
Really?
They-
Mel, are you not?
they
on that,
grab
are
ya.
You got
No.
more
Well, I
important
mean, I'll
things to
scroll
do.
through Instagram, and then every now and then, like one of those headlines will grab you, and then I click on the link, and I'm reading the story.
clickbait. Sylvie's in.
Yeah, and look,
So what can you tell me then, considering you've probably researched this story?
I have not researched a lot about this, but here I'll go to TMZ. You want?
So this is some really salacious,
Yeah,
horrible
well, here,
things
real quick.
involved.
Part of the reason it's so bad is he's overseen the career of lots of
Young.
exactly
Musicians.
when they were minors, and a lot of them were attending these parties.
Oh no, that's not
at
good.
times with lots of nakedness.
Oh, that's not good.
Here, the first story on TMZ right now, inside the Diddy white parties.
What does that mean? Like everybody had to wear white to get in?
Oh, I guess they have pictures. Like of a lot of famous people. These pool parties at these white parties.
I think this goes towards the that comment that you've made several times over the years. You really don't ever know who
You don't
somebody
know.
is.
You don't.
You just don't know who
You
somebody
think you
is.
know who the good people and bad people are, you don't know. Not that I ever thought that he was a good person, but
You just don't know the depths of
yeah.
the character.
We never know the famous people.
Before we go to break and come back for a really good rendition of Waddle's World, do you know, can you guess the crazy number of burgers McDonald's sells every day
in all the
across the world? How many burgers
Oh my God, how many locations do
does
they have
McDonald's
across the
sell
world?
every single day?
regular hamburgers, or does this count Big Macs, quarter pounders, everything? What are we talking here? Because that goes into my calculus.
How many Royale with cheeses are we talking here, Waddle?
I'm
Just
going to say
hamburgers. Just hamburgers.
400 million.
A day?
I'm with you, Sylvie.
I
Trying to
overshoot-
figure out what number to guess here.
So now you're making fun of me?
I didn't. I just.
So I overshot it.
How many locations does McDonald's have? I can't even grasp that right now. Worldwide.
All right, I'll go then 40 million.
In a day?
That's still too much. There's a lot of McDonald's and a lot of people eat burgers.
Mallory, do you have a guess before we?
Yes, 100 hamburgers. I'm
sh-
guessing 100. They sell 100.
Wise ass.
Well, I'm not going to get Sylvied over here.
6.48 million burgers in a single day. And over the course of a year, that carries out to 2.36 billion patties being served around the globe.
How
over
many
the course of a
locations
year.
do they have?
It doesn't say that here, but they've got a ton. They got a bunch.
It says as of August 2024, there were over 41,800 McDonald's
you go.
worldwide.
Yeah, I thought that would be
6.48
even more.
burgers sold every day.
I said 400
Yeah,
million.
400 million. Look at
I'm
you.
bad at
And you're
those games.
Pizza, and you're because you're pizza guy.